class. So we have a set equation, or you can say a radical equation. Okay, now the first thing we do is to make the square root of a the subject of the equation. Okay, so we can say the square root of a equals 32 minus the square root of minus a. All right, so we're going to have the square root of a equals 32 minus the square root of minus a. Now let's remove the square root on top of a. Okay, so we do that by squaring, and when you square the left part, you do the same thing to the right part as well. All right, so you're going to have this exponent, or this exponent cancels this square root, so you have a equals 32 minus the square root of a, square root of minus a, all squared. All right, so here we're going to apply the square of a difference formula. Okay, so if you have a minus b all squared, a minus b, if you have a minus b all squared, this equals a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So this is what you have. Now our equation becomes a equals 32 squared minus 2 multiplying 32 multiplying the square root of minus a, okay, plus the square root of minus a all squared. All right, so our equation becomes a, okay, our equation becomes a equals, now 32 squared is 1024 minus, this gives us 64, multiplying the square root of minus a, plus this square cancels this square root, so you have minus a. All right, now this and this are like terms, so let's group them. So we're going to have a plus a equals 1024 minus 64 multiplying the square root of minus a. Now this will give us 2a equals 1024 minus 64 multiplying the square root of minus a. All right, now let's reduce the terms in the equation. So you have 2a equals 1024 minus 64 multiplying the square root of minus a. So let's reduce the equation by dividing each term by 2. If you divide here by 2, here by 2, here by 2. All right, so these two will cancel this. 2 cancels itself, 1 goes here. 5, 1, 2. 5, 1, 2. 2 cancels itself, 1 goes here. 32. All right, 32. So our equation becomes a equals 512 minus 32 multiplying the square root of minus a. All right, now so at this point we want to transpose this part of the equation, okay, or 32 multiplying minus 32 multiplying the square root of minus a. So we're going to have 32 multiplying the square root of minus a equals 512 minus a. All right, now so you can see we have transposed 512 minus a, and then 32 multiplying this minus 32 multiplying the square root of minus a as well. All right, so here we are going to have 32 multiplying the square root of minus a equals 512 minus a. Now let's square both sides of the equation in order to remove the square root. So we square this side, we square this side. Now, according to the product to a power of indices, if you have b times c exponent d, this equals b exponent d times c exponent d. All right, so our equation becomes 32 exponent 2 times the square root of minus a exponent 2 exponent 2 equals 512 minus a all squared. Now we know that 32 squared is 1024. Now this 2 cancels this square root, so you have minus a equals 5112 minus a all squared. All right. Now this will give us minus 1024a equals 512 minus a all squared. All right, so what we are going to do next is to apply the square of a difference property to the right part of the equation. Okay, so let's state the formula again. If you have a minus b squared, this equals a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. All right, so our equation becomes minus 1024 equals 512 squared minus 2 multiplying 512 multiplying minus a, okay, plus, okay, a squared. All right, so this is what we have. All right, so this is what we have, okay? All right. So our equation becomes, okay, sorry, let's do some corrections here. Minus 1024a. All right, so our equation becomes minus 1024a equals 502 squared minus, this gives us 1024a plus a squared. All right, so let's proceed. Now we're going to have minus 1024a plus 1024a equals 512 squared plus a squared. All right, so this side gives us 0. So we have 0 equals 512 squared plus a squared. So our equation becomes, okay, or we can write the equation in this way, or we can write the equation in another form, or in another way. So you're going to have 512 squared plus a squared equals 0. So this is the same as a squared plus 512 squared equals 0. Now let's make a squared the subject of the equation. So you're going to have a squared equals minus 512 squared. Now you're going to have a squared equals, okay, 512 squared times minus 1. Okay, so this gives us, okay, now we will say, we can say minus 1 equals I squared. Okay, so therefore in place of minus 1 we can write I squared. So we have a squared equals 512 squared times I squared. All right, now let's state the product to a power row of indices. Okay, now if you have a exponent c, let's use a different variable. If you have b exponent c times d exponent c, this is equal to bd all exponent c. Now let's apply this concept to the right part of our equation. So we're going to have a squared equals 512i all squared. All right, now let's make a the subject of the relation. Okay, so a equals plus or minus the square root of 512i squared. All right, so this 2 cancels the square root, so you have a equals plus or minus 512i. So you can see we have 2 values for a, okay, because it's a quadratic equation. Therefore, we say a1 equals 512i, and then we say a2 equals minus 512i. Okay, and this is our final answer. Kindly share, kindly subscribe,